What is your biggest weakness? What motivates?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Are you innovative?
Give an example.
Give an
What
example
is your
of a time when you handled a major crisis. What can you bring to our company? Hi, I'm Tills, and this is Wilbur. As you can see, he's a bit exhausted from all the interview questions he's just been asked. In this video, we hope to run you through the 9 top most tricky interview questions that interviewers love to ask. We want to make sure that you can manage your nerves by giving you an insight into why the interviewers are asking you these specific questions in the interview. So the technique that we recommend you use in your interview when you're being asked for examples is STAR. I'm going to run you through what the STAR represents now. So the S stands for situation. So tell the employer the context and significance of the example you are going to give. The T stands for task. Here you want to go through what you needed to do to achieve your goal. The A stands for action. Tell the employer specifically what you did. This is where all the detail comes in. And finally, R stands for the result or reflection. You're concluding to the employer how it all turned out. Now, we recommend you spend most of the time on the A and R section of STAR. Okay, without further ado, let's go on to the first question. Give an example of a time when you showed initiative. One of the main problems with this question, in terms of its trickiness, is how many definitions the word initiative has. The ability to initiate things. A first or new step, attainment of an first step, beginning or originating, energy or resourcefulness to take the first step, displayed or to act on one's own initiative without introductory or preliminary. So, what they're really asking you is if you're a self-starter, if you're someone that can do something without supervision and work independently. It's important to talk about the path of the idea. So don't just tell them about the idea itself, tell them how you worked through it and the end goal that you came to and the results of that idea. Now this is a good time to use that STAR technique that we spoke about at the start. What motivates you? If you're anything like me, this is one of those questions that just cringes you out. Because it's very difficult to talk about what motivates you in an interview when you're asked on the spot, because you think, oh my gosh, I should be saying something that is like inspirational, what motivates me. But then when you think back to in the morning, what got you out of bed, it's realistically probably, but I'm not going to tell my employee that, am I? Thinking about your professional motivations is quite simple. The way that we suggest that you think about it is when you come back from work and you've had a good day, what does that involve? What makes a good day at work a good day? For some people, it might be that you smash loads of goals that day. Or if you come home from a good day and it's because all the team worked really well together and you all kind of finally found like a level ground. You don't want to say something that you're not motivated by because it will really come across in the interview. Probably the most classic, or one of the most classic interview questions out there is, what is your most significant achievement? Now this is sort of similar vibe to the what is your biggest motivation, or what motivates you, in the fact that you really need to go for something that you are genuinely proud of. They have heard them all before. This is one of those interview questions that's been circulating for years and years and years. But I just want to put a little bit of a disclaimer, caution sign here, just to let you know, don't repeat any of these answers. You need to make sure that you are finding something that is specific and detailed, that is about your life.
Well, I guess my biggest achievement was probably graduating uni. Yeah.
Last year, when I was at university, I started a new society. By the end of the year, I had 150 members.
Are you innovative? Now, you don't need to be an entrepreneur to answer an innovative related interview question. You just need to show that you've got a little bit of potential. You, as a graduate, are a great future investment for a company. So they want to know if you can come up with good ideas and long, positive, lasting impact on the company. A good activity to do when you're trying to work out how to answer this question is to think about that one person in your group who really strikes you as someone really innovative. They come up with fresh, new ideas, they're always doing things differently. Think about the kind of qualities that they possess and think about the way that they go about coming up with ideas, the routes that they have when they're thinking of an idea, how they're running through it in their head. Get into that headspace. Then think about times when you've shared those qualities, and then maybe that might lead you to a time when you were innovative yourself. What can you bring to our company? What the employer is really looking for here is a combination between some really good self-awareness and some good company research. With our approach to answering this question, we need to remember that it's really important to think about how we will benefit the organisation as a whole. In your company research, you probably will have found a few gaps in what they're looking for. So either something that's really, really integral or something that you think they're slightly missing out on that you can fit neatly inside of, and then in the interview you want to show how well you can fill that gap and how well you can benefit the company from that specific quality that you can bring. Somewhere in between the scale of,
oh my gosh, I'm the most amazing person, you need to employ me because I'm just perfect in every way and I'm going to be manager in about 2 months.
and
Well, I don't really know, what I bring to any situation.
what is your biggest weakness? It's a bit of an odd one, isn't it? Talking about your shortcomings or your flaws in an interview where essentially the point is to sell yourself to the employer. Many graduates don't know that you can actually really use this as a golden opportunity to show that you are completely right for the company if you simply frame the question slightly differently. You see, strengths and weaknesses can sometimes be different sides of the same coin. So there's 2 ways of answering this question. The first is to talk about a problem that you've had in the past that you have found a way of combating. So that might be that you struggled with working under a time pressure and you decided to do a time management course, and so now you actually find that you thrive quite well in a time pressured environment. Because of all those skills that you've got from the course, you know how to organise your time and remain calm in the situation. And the second way of answering the question is actually the better way, and that is finding the downside of our greatest strength. So for example, let's say that my greatest strength is that I'm a great team player. I thrive really well working in a team where, there's equal people chipping in, listening to everyone's ideas. I like listening, I like contributing, I like the whole atmosphere. My greatest weakness might be related to that. It might be that I find it difficult assuming a leadership role. Give an example of your lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is all about problem solving and your approach to solving a problem. So an example of this might be, I was part of a student society at university, and at one point in my second year, the society was going through serious financial struggles. And a logical way of thinking about it would have been us just cutting costs. So for example, there's a trip at the end of term that everyone really enjoys, but we just had to cut that trip. A lateral way of thinking about this is, okay, let's think, is there a great new fundraising idea we can come up with, or a new initiative to boost membership? Or can I reach out to a contact that we've worked with before, organise a meeting and talk about potential sponsorship? And in this answer, you want to use the STAR framework that we spoke about earlier in order to make sure that your answer is both succinct and also detailed enough so that the employer can really see that you've worked through every point and shown your lateral thinking. Give an example of a time when you handled a major crisis. A lot of graduates think, what actually qualifies as a major crisis? In answering it, it's best to reframe the question a little bit, because the word crisis is a very emotive word and a word that the employers use to sort of throw you off a little bit. The question really is asking you when you have faced difficulty, or when you've had an obstacle, or when you've had to cope under pressure. Because the employer wants to see that you are calm and you have a practical approach under pressure. They're looking for interpersonal skills, signs of initiative, problem solving, positive thinking, a calm attitude. And the most important thing as well is that you show that you've worked all the way through it and that you've been the one to handle it, as opposed to having someone come in and solve the problem for you. I hope you've enjoyed the video as it's been going on, but this is just the last question that we're going to go through, and it is the most movie classic question that you probably already know what I'm going to say. It is, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? daunting and can be a little bit cliche. Because it is so classic, you want to make sure that you steer away from the really cliche and cringeable answers. Also, it's easy to just go into panic mode and be like, I have no idea what I'm going to be in 5 years' time. Please don't ask me that. It's like when your parents try and ask you what you're going to be doing in 5 years' time and you're just like, can you not ask me that? The 3 things that you want to aim to show in answering this question are 1, that you are committed to your chosen career or company, 2, that you understand the professional career path that you will take in this sector, and 3, that you are committed, motivated and willing to work hard to get to where you want to be. Okay, that's the end of the video. I hope that me and Wilbur have helped you find at least one thing that will help you prepare for interviews in the future and have calmed a little bit of your interview nerves. And all that's left to say from me and Wilbs is good luck in the interview and I hope you get the job. See you soon. Bye.